I keep thinking about the Two Angry Men podcast that Brian Friedman was on. I actually ended up listening to it twice yesterday, and I think I might listen to portions of it again. And it was interesting too. The second time I listened to it, I watched it to see some of like his facial reactions. But one thing that stood out to me was he was obviously talking about the appeal story and how they got it wrong. But what he does is he kind of walks Harvey in to being like, well, like my understanding of what a publicist does is like they just confirm facts and like tell the facts, which, you know, is a good statement since he's representing a couple publicists. And then Harvey's like shaking his head like, no, they lie all the time and we know that. And then he's like, well, what are your procedures since you like know that they lie all the time? And then Harvey just spills, right? Oh, we do all this verification and we, you know, then we use side doors to verify and then we have legal look at it, which obviously if you had legal look at the appeal story, they would have been like, this is wrong. I mean, Friedman even says he's represented News Corp before, so like he knows these procedures, but he's just getting Harvey to talk about it. And at the end, Harvey goes, well, maybe I'm talking too much. To be like, yep. Friedman also does talk about how big this case is for society, which is something that I've spoken about in length. I actually want to go back and find some of my earlier videos just because of like all of the different reasons why this has really become such a pivotal case. And I think also why it's grabbed so many Americans and just like all the different things that it goes to. So it's great to hear him say that. And then he made this like, they were talking about TikTok people and he was like, those are the people. And then I was like, yeah, we are the people. And I just felt so American and, you know, brought me back to the preamble. Anyway, which is kind of one of the things I talked about in a more recent video was like how the jury pool is really pulling from a lot of people that voted for Mamdani, right? So that 161 million of damages plus punitive damages, probably not gonna fly. It was kind of funny that they were talking about like legacy or mainstream media with Harvey Levin, who is effectively a part of that. I think he tries to kind of separate himself, but TMZ is a huge well-known publication, and sure, like maybe it's not the New York Times, but which when he was going into the processes in place for verifying things, I was like, well, if TMZ is allegedly doing that, then what are the Times' standards? And if TMZ knows the publicists lie all the time. And it was also interesting, Harvey Levin talked about how like a lot of publicists will run for the hills when there's a problem. And I was like, oh my God, like people should be telling their clients that like your publicist turns her phone off. Like, no.